make everyone super tanky, and Hanwha Life, wow. Okay, Lulu.
I like this. It's a similar idea to the Yuumi, but offers a lot more lane presence alongside the Caitlyn. And we'll be able to augment that Olaf. As far as Cinecomps are concerned, I like this one out of Hanwha.
Yeah, I think Hanwha Life has a lot better tools, pretty much. And with Caitlyn, with Lulu, and Akali, I mean, it's not like they don't have scaling either. But the really worrisome thing for me about SANDBOX is I feel like they're going to fall down dragons early. And by the time third dragon comes around, that's lining up actually pretty nicely for Akali, for Caitlyn, for Lulu and friends to actually be menacing. And SANDBOX's team composition feels a little bit vulnerable.
Yeah, and it's a very standard one. You can understand exactly why they picked it, right? You've got a lot of CC and flank potential coming through from the top side. That's exactly what Summit wants to be doing. Fate can be doing the same thing, diving alongside the Wukong, and then you've got the peel available from the Tahm Kench, with OnFleek also able to throw himself into the fight. So certainly a lot of dive potential, a lot of team fight potential coming out of SANDBOX, but there is just a lot of sort of early lane power through the Lucian lane and Caitlyn, especially alongside the Lulu into a Tahm Kench. That's going to feel really, really good. And a mid-game winning matchup in the mid lane as well with Akali versus Azir. I think there is a lot that they're going to be able to do here. Plus, YeongJae should be able to farm the jungle much faster on the Olaf in comparison to the Sett. And so early game jungling should be in favor of Hanwha as well.
Well, we'll definitely see what they're going to be able to do here. I feel like if Hanwha Life can't manage to get ahead and win with this kind of a draft, then things are going to be pretty rough for them. But it's what is pretty much expected out of this team. I am very curious to see if Summit can play a lot better this time around, because
might have a little bit of an issue here, guys. Of course, the players are playing from their gaming houses at the moment, and so probably going to have to iron out some of the kinks. But yeah, we might be delayed just a little bit getting into the match, trying to figure some stuff out. So welcome back to the Death Realm and whatever I've got going on here. There's just a bunch of things. Apparently, Dudu's having a few issues, struggling with his PC or something else. As you might have seen a cat walking past. He thought he was safe, but he wasn't. Weren't quite into the game just yet. So should be getting in relatively soon. So nothing to worry about there.
At least I have friends in the Death Realm.
So who's your friend in the Death Realm?
Well, I have 3 Nars. I have a Tibbers with a Teemo
why are they
hat.
in the background? All of mine are in the background. I've even got like Ash and Jinx and Nami chilling out over here.
You just
look at me go. I'm chilling real hard.
It's honestly, this is my crowd for the broadcast.
Okay. So they're watching you.
Yeah.
And
actually, I've locked them in here with me.
They've been altered. Mordekaiser's taken more victims. As I right now have my cat trying to kill the wall behind me. Hopefully my landlord isn't watching. Oh god. I've also got my shaman, but he gets cut off a little bit. He's just here, hanging out. Oh god.
Definitely pretty good.
Here he is.
Dongchul. We can't.
Please.
Nice.
I don't know
That's
what
pretty
to do.
good.
I don't know. We need to get into the game. It's just a tail in my face.
Rengar has appeared.
Albino Rengar.
Yuumi is upset that Yuumi was not picked with Lucian, and so that's actually what's happening right now. But
yeah, I would remove him, but he's really heavy, so he has to just get off on his own accord. This is basically how it's going to work. Okay.
It's pretty good.
Okay. Control.
So, we're not unsure how long the issue is going to take to get fixed for the PC. And obviously, Hanwha Life coming into this game, you have to wonder where their mental state's at after game number 1, and is that why they're drafting this way? Because their team composition is much more outwardly aggressive than in game number 1, as weird as that is. They had a little bit more control in game number 1, and this one just feels like they're trying to win every single lane, trying to win jungle, and just power through their opponents. So it'll be interesting to see how they try to combat it. But SANDBOX, they are just looking like the better team, pretty much overall. The one scary thing, again, right before we jumped into this game, is Summit on the Wukong is going to have a lot less forgiveness against the Lucian than the Ornn versus the Renekton matchup that he had in
Yeah,
game
we've
1.
actually seen that go a couple of different ways, with the Wukong sometimes being able to come out ahead, as I believe the game is finally ready. And we're going to get into it. But yeah, I think that if Summit's actually, on his game, the matchup can be fine for the Wukong, especially with some jungle assistance. But if he plays like he did in game number 1, like you mentioned already, this could be a lane that Dudu can absolutely dominate. So let's have a look to see how that top side's going to go. And I just want to see some vintage Summit, man. I just want him to get back into form.
Well, let's see what is going to happen here. Honestly,
Yeah, I feel like everyone does.
Yeah.
No one really wants to watch this anymore. It's unfortunate. He's still here. He's just chilling next to me. So don't worry, guys. He's here in spirit. It'll be absolutely fine. No shenanigans in the early game or anything like that, as we can see. A bit of sinning it to win it for Fate there in the mid lane with his Scorch. No sinning on the side of Hanwha Life. They have picked the correct runes by the looks of things. Even Gathering Storm there for Viper, which makes a lot of sense, of course, because you want to get to 3 items and then you're a champion.
Yep. And everything else aside, though, I mean, the Scorch on Azir, obviously very sinful, considering that they're not intending to try to win super early, and it's very hard to move Akali as it is. You're not really looking for solo kills or to set anything up, so the early game jungle pathing is going to be super important to pay attention to. Olaf doesn't really have any responsibility to be anywhere, so I would just expect YeongJae to power full clear, whereas Sett has to be a little bit more cautious. And you can see that now Root and Gorilla, they're going to be the ones that are getting abused, and it's going to be pretty difficult to set up ganks unless Hanwha Life really blunder.
Yeah, this is exactly the position in a lane that a Caitlyn wants, right? You want to be able to control the minions, make sure that your opponent can't actually fight you, and then take those pot shots where you can, as the Deadly Flourish doesn't find the mark. Of course, not the end of the world or anything like that. It's just going to be some added pressure for SANDBOX to deal with in the early game. As Dudu doing what Lucian does best, which is shoving the lane. But he's just ardently blazing this monkey that's already on fire. And he is getting harassed already.
I mean, he has a perfect cheater timing. If he would just shove all... Oh, we missed cannon!
That's a whoopsie.
Oh, yeah,
that almost looked like he was, didn't even care about the cannon.
And okay, so he doesn't actually elect to cheat a recall. He's using none of his corrupting potions. And so we're gonna call this push third wave do nothing. So the classic.
Well, we're gonna see OnFleek doing something as Lehends is gonna fat flash over that wall, but OnFleek is gonna run after him. He's got himself a red buff and also a face breaker. So this Lulu is mega dead. There is no deader than what this Lulu is in First Blood. Going over to the Sett is bad news. OnFleek, I don't know what he had for breakfast this morning, but I want some.
Yeah, I have no idea what Lulu or what Lehends is even thinking there. And I really like what Fate's doing. He just elects to poke Mireu, and he's basically like, yeah, come at me, because my jungler's here. And if they were to take the extended trade, Akali just does not have enough HP, and so now Fate, crashing in a wave, Mireu has healed up quite a big deal. But now getting tagged by the Sand Soldiers over and over. Comment probably over.
What?
Wait, what?
Damn. Mireu's certainly playing with fire here, or with sand. I don't know. Something like that. Wait, not a lot of mana left, but he's going to eat a biscuit, trying to get enough to try and kill this Akali, who really wants to auto-attack a minion. Try and get that fleet footwork working.
Yeah, this is really, really surprising. And I like what OnFleek's doing. He's actually just pathing back over to the right-hand side. He wants to make sure that everything's fine. We got a big
the
trade.
all-in as Summit looking for another devastating blow. Remember, as soon as the monkey starts walking back, that's when Dudu can start trying to harass. And as you can see, soldier build here for Summit as he went for the cheetah recall. Dudu yet to do so. There's Mireu now with the newly improved shuriken backflip, doing the magic damages apart instead of the physical. I wanted to talk to you about that change.
This is
I think it's really interesting that they've sort of changed what kind of damage she does with that ability now. Is it significant at all, in your opinion?
So I believe the way that it works is it nerfs her early game and mid game, but then buffs her late game. I think that's the way that it works. Yeah. Nerfs her early and mid, nerfs her laning phase. And that's pretty much that. So not super big. I mean, her changes are not massive. They're sort of like those changes that just put the champion on the radar again. Whenever I do the rundowns, I tend to call them placebo.
Dudu actually taking a fair bit of damage from that decoy.
Yeah. Not super ideal for him. Someone's actually going to get a recall off in what should have been a very easy trade. I want to point out also, Dudu blew through all 3 of his corrupting potions, in addition to having that vampiric scepter. So Summit is finding his way out of this laning phase pretty okay. There's a giant wave coming into him right now. Sett is in close proximity.
Yeah, so that the CS
and
difference
Mireu,
that you can see, not exactly the hugest deal, is YeongJae not going to quite find the undertow. And so, going to have to back away. As Dudu gets the wave to crash, but Summit is going to be able to find the cannon. Does so nicely there with the Nimbus Strike. And OnFleek just hex flashing because he can. I love it. Players just having fun.
And you can see that even the bottom lane still, though, for Hanwha Life, they're still in a comfortable position. They finally do reset. Boots plus BF Sword for Caitlyn. And Jhin going to get a reset of his own BF Sword and refillable with a Fairy Charm.
Okay.
Going to be picked up for Root. And so we'll see what Viper and Lehends can do. They should get further ahead than they are right now. Fate is doing a pretty good job at denying CS and EXP from Mireu, who continues to keep getting hit.
Yeah, maybe this is all the Scorch. Maybe this is the power of... To see that difference in health bar? Scorch damage. If you didn't have Scorch, I mean, I just don't think that it would be anywhere near this oppressive. What do you think?
Could not have said it better myself.
This is why we have the synergy, man. I say the things that you're just about to say, so that you don't have to.
You are just spitting biscuits of knowledge all night long.
I don't normally like to spit biscuits, but when I do, I make them about Scorch. As Dudu continuing to stay ahead as far as the farm, but OnFleek, he's towards the bottom side, stopping the show against Viper, who is super dead, guys. He's just running away as Lehends also going to be taken down. Barely had his flash available. Couldn't quite do it, as now Root is going to be handed this kill and easily picks up the Caitlyn for a double. 3-0 now in favor of SANDBOX. They're really starting to run away with it, and it's only 8 minutes in.
Yeah, and I mean, the bottom lane, which should have been the most successful lane and so crucial to the... Are you kidding? Throw the axe at the bush. He is trolling out of his mind right now, Atlas. I have no idea.
Sometimes you just don't want to waste the mana when you could throw that axe into a Gromp.
Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah, okay, the mana, yeah.
That's what it's about.
We got Mana Mike over here.
I'm glad you know. Because like now he needs to take the blue buff, so he needed all that mana to kill the blue buff. Oh god. Yeah, no, that's a mistake, guys. Always check the brush. You have a skill shot, check the brush before you leave. It's a PSA.
Well,
big lead here for Fate.
Summit gets away for free. Yeah. Oh, Mireu is about to get face breakered. Wow.
His face was just broken.
This is a massacre!
And I feel like it's all OnFleek.
Hanwha Life are looking like Hanwha Death. Well, I think that, you know what? Actually, I think my doorbell's ringing, Atlas. I believe it's Hanwha Life. I think they're here in the death round after this series. They're coming to actually
you can do like interviews whenever a player dies. Couldn't you? Yeah, can we get some of that? We'll talk to production. We'll talk to production about setting that up because we may as well.
That's what's
get
going
them
on
mic'd
here.
up while they're not doing anything. As we're gonna have a look top lane. This was Dudu, I think, getting a flash out of something.
A bit of a diffy in the jiffy in this game. So we take a look at the replay here, and OnFleek, I mean, he just comes around, and Mireu, I mean, he sees him. He could have flashed. He could have reacted to OnFleek, but he didn't. He actually clicked into him, which is one of the most surprising things about that.
Sort of the opposite of what you want to be doing.
Yeah, the opposite of what is good.
Not sure what that is, but I'm sure I'll learn in time. Dudu holding the wave just outside his turret for some added safety. Is now HLE going to be started by a SANDBOX. Both supports have roamed over, but you can see inside track given to the Azir. So should be SANDBOX being able to pick this one up, especially because they've got a 2,000 gold lead at 10 minutes. But YeongJae with double buffs. We're going to come down and try and affect this. Showstopper is available, and Gorilla looking for more. There's the flash out to divide. Good Ragnarok there from YeongJae. Keep himself alive, but of course Gorilla's going to be there. A brilliant face breaker. It took them a while to grab the kill though, and the Azir is going to fall. However, doesn't really seem to matter. Mireu in the Shroud, and it looks like he will be able to use the ultimate in order to take down the Tahm Kench, but he is still going to die, and that's going to be a kill over to the Wukong. Curtain call comes in. Viper didn't even bother to get into that fight, of course. No teleport or anything like that, but he'll still be able to get himself a couple of turret plates as a consolation prize.
Yeah, he's still stuck there down in bot lane. Not actually sure why he's recalling as fast as he is. I guess he's anticipating that maybe Summit would come in and try to assassinate him. That would be the only thing I can think of, because Tahm Kench with a rank 1 Abyssal Voyage, it's not that big.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's going to get flanked. Okay. HLE.
Wow, thrown in here immediately.
Gonna be summoned here in mid lane, yeah. And they're just gonna get all of the turret plates, the proximity gold. And it is a 4,000 gold lead here at 11.5 minutes, Atlas. I think SANDBOX are gonna run away with this game very quickly.
And it's once again OnFleek, 3-0 and 4 now. 7 out of 7.
Yeah.
This guy's Sett might
today.
need to be banned in future series. Although they don't have any more games to play this year, but maybe next year they're gonna have to ban his Sett. As this was Fate going pretty damn deep.
Yep. Gorilla manages to eat him, spit him back out into Lucian. And Olaf, I mean, he says my life for ire pretty much as he sacrifices himself. Mireu tries to get away. Lehends not able to help him. He does not have the shuriken flip to come up and try to get over the wall. Not going to be available. Actually, the Herald just ends up getting started, so credit to Mireu for leading them into that.
Well, just getting over there, showing them exactly what they need to do. Sometimes it's all about having a team effort. As the two trappers here on the bottom side of the map going at it. It looks like it's just going to be waves shoved into one another. Viper's still looking for his Infinity Edge, and Root does have the Storm Razor already completed, so slight item advantage as far as our first completed one there going over to Root, but very even as far as the farm. Dudu gets himself another turret plate, so at least the Lucian is doing what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
I just don't know whether it's going to quite be enough.
And the issue is that Wukong eventually, once he starts getting his items, he's going to be such a menace versus this Hanwha Life team in the later stages. And with Jhin being so online, the Caitlyn being so stunted, things are just looking really bad. I would be very surprised if SANDBOX do not actually get another turret plate down here.
Oh, what?
What? Oh.
Yeah, he'll take a turret shot for that one. Worth.
Yeah.
Not going to be able to get any more, most likely. 30 seconds to go before those plates fall down. Summit misses a cannon. The pressure here from Dudu too much.
It looks like, yeah, Summit's probably going to end up having to ult the wave. This is going to be the second dragon picked up by SANDBOX, and if you're a SANDBOX fan, you want Infernal to be rolled here, not Cloud.
And it will be Cloud.
And okay.
It's an overcast day.
You know, it basically what it's saying is that you're not a SANDBOX fan.
Well, I don't know. They're still winning. I think it's fine. Maybe I am a SANDBOX fan. I just want to see them win as without any help from the dragons. You know, I want the most legitimate win possible.
Yeah, you have a more honest approach here to the gameplay.
Just want to prove to you guys they don't need the dragons to help out. Is now Summit. Gonna go aggressive here onto Dudu. Has a second Cyclone. And they are taking a fair bit of damage, but I don't know whether Summit's going to survive this, as YeongJae does get that reckless swing down, but not enough Ragnarok left over, and a double kill for Fate.
And so double kill for the Azir. It is totally a worthwhile trade for SANDBOX. Gold lead still very comfortable. Fate, level 11. He is playing a bit cautious against Mireu, giving respect over to the Akali. Doesn't have his flash or the Emperor's Divide up, so he's just playing a little bit more cautious. And we just see how this all transpires. I have no idea what YeongJae and Dudu are thinking about trying to do here. Summit actually uses... Right? Yeah. Misclick onto YeongJae and then flashes very late. And so he ends up getting brought down, but it's not the end of the world. Fate up here. Mireu uses the teleport. I don't know what they're doing. He might be
teleporting into the Death Realm, LS. It's not exactly what you want as he puts down his Shroud, but still his face will be broken nonetheless. Will have second ultimate, but does use it to get out of the way, but the flash after him from OnFleek is going to work out. Emperor's Divide through YeongJae. And he's going to be taken down as well as Dudu thinks that his tower's safe, but I don't think that's true. Curtains are going to be called. Not even required to take down the Lucian. However, he is able to take Fate with him as he falls. Outer turret taken down, though, and we are very, very close to a 6,000 gold lead for SANDBOX.
Yeah, I mean, this game is just looking super doom and gloom right now for Hanwha Life. Viper, their best player by far, is 0-1-0, 170 CS, only 2 turret plates on him. So, this Caitlyn is just so stunted. And it's very hard to imagine a world where Viper's ever going to be able to come online, even with Lulu trying to bolster his effectiveness in the fights and somehow carry this game.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard, especially with the amount of dive that's available on SANDBOX, right? How do they keep the Caitlyn alive?
Yeah. Mireu just dying right there at the very end. Really nice devour by Gorilla. Spits Fate back out into safety, and again, I mean, there was just no way for Caitlyn to really do anything. Dudu teleported into his demise, did end up killing Azir.
Azir didn't need to dive directly underneath the turret. I think Fate got a little bit overexcited there, but that's fine. Sometimes your youthful exuberance does show itself, as Gorilla is going to lick this ward to death. And yeah, SANDBOX triple the kills here of what Hanwha have put together for themselves. Thinking about whether they want to go for Soul Point next, or whether they want to continue setting up vision around Shirley, who has graced us with her presence. Dudu splitting on the bot side, has YeongJae here, but if he shows himself, that is going to be a free Shirley. And in fact, it might just be a free Shirley anyway. And that is exactly going to be the case.
Yep. And so Shirley will get picked up. They should be able to hold that. And honestly, with the way that the game is going, Shirley could actually maybe even crash into an inhibitor, depending on when they look to utilize her. Triforce almost complete now on the Wukong. I like the Oblivion Orb on the Azir. No one on the enemy team has any magic resistance, and also, it's very hard for them to justify purchasing it. So, Sork Pen Boots plus Oblivion Orb for that 33 magic penetration for Fate would be super big against all of these champions.
And even Morello's not that bad because there's a wild growth available. And that is a lot of healing. Does, in fact, count as healing.
You can't see me, but I'm looking at you.
I know, you're not a fan of that, but it's okay. I just needed to say it. It's one of those things. We don't need to talk about whether it's good or not. But you could do it, and you could justify it. As Viper going to wander over a captive audience trapped. I do have a little bit of an issue with the naming of that ability, but since Jhin has come out, there has been some more strange naming decisions, and so I can't be too upset.
All right, he purchased Mireu.
Yeah, I guess maybe that might be.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah,
you cursed it. Yeah, you definitely did. Four strikes again, Alex.
I'm just cursing left, right, and center.
I think you and Boris are in cahoots. No. I think that's actually.
Can't tell anyone that, okay? I think
I'm on to you.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I think Boris is from Australia. Really? I'm starting to think
Boris. So. Yeah, it's a good, it's a good Australian name. You know.
Yeah.
I've never met a guy
I think
called
that we
Boris
figured
before.
it out.
I've never met anyone called Boris before, so I couldn't say whether it's a popular name in Australia, but I didn't go to all of it while I lived there, so I can't really say. Cloud Drake is going to be taken for free, and the reason why we're talking about Boris and whether or not he's Australian is because SANDBOX are just consistently winning, and it doesn't look like there's too much that Hanwha can do about it.
Yeah. 7k gold lead here at 19.5 minutes.
2.2 of that is in the jungle. OnFleek is slaughtering YeongJae right now.
Yep. Even Wukong is even with the Lucian. 2,000 in the mid lane. And the supports are the closest. So only a 700 difference there between Lulu and Tahm.
Bit of a global gold difference there.
But, yep, does not really matter. Sorkman boots now picked up by the Azir. And so he will have that available now inside of whatever team fight does end up transpiring. 4 minutes until the Cloud Soul. Now, if SANDBOX really want to be super capped and careful, they just won't fight at all until that dragon.
Yeah, then they'll keep ping-ponging waves. Throwing them backwards and forwards. They've taken every unit turret now, though. So there's just not a lot of options unless they're going to siege an inhibitor. As Dudu now lies in wait for this minion wave to come down, but it doesn't look like Hanwha have too many ideas of what they're going to do at this stage of the game. This Brambleback should be delivered pretty comfortably to OnFleek. Root wanted that one, but he already had a red buff, I guess, so he'd just taken his own. May as well give that one to the Sett. He's now fade up towards the top side. Doesn't have Conquering Sands, but will be able to shift it if he needs to get out of the way, so no worries there. And Viper clears out the wave, but just clearing waves one after the other is not going to help Hanwha Life wrestle themselves back into this game, as it feels like they just can't get towards any of these neutral objectives, and Gorilla's free to lick whoever he wants. It's like Hanwha Life's an ice cream.
Well, Hanwha Lifer is going to have one last stand, most likely inside of this game. Akali should be able to have the Leandries for that team fight, but they're just fighting against such a deficit, and their champions are so stunted compared to the opponents. There's also one level lead inside of the jungle, one in mid lane, one in AD carry.
Ragnarok gonna be traded.
The one thing Hanwha Life does have going for them is Lulu has a level up over Tahm.
There we go. This is something.
There you go. Yeah, it was, you know. Oh, okay. Almost 2 levels in the jungle, actually, I think. Right?
Yeah.
It's pretty
we'll
close.
See whether OnFleek gets to level 13 anytime soon. One in the top lane is also just crazy, to be honest, because Summit really wasn't having the greatest of times against the Lucian early. Doesn't seem to matter at the moment as in he goes. Up against Lehends, has to ult himself, is now OnFleek looking for it. Curtain Call comes through, and now they're in this corridor. They've just lined up for these big old bullets. Coming out of Root, but now he doesn't have a lot of mana left over. And Hanwha are thinking about coming around for a bit of a pincer. Mireu trying to get in there, throws down the Shroud, but he's just going to get taken down by incidental damage eventually, I think. No, throws down the ulti first. Gets a lot of damage there, but it's just not enough. They're too far behind. So close to a hero
and they have a minion wave.
Not enough. Triple kill for the Azir. And now Summit is chasing after Viper. He flashes. He might be able to escape here, but the damage, it feels, has been done.
Yeah, I think the damage has certainly been done. Double turret coming in. Rue!
Oh my god!
Oh man!
All right, well, that's one way to do it. They're going to be able to grab that ace.
Wow!
7 seconds on Lehends, 8 onto YeongJae. As this first Nexus turret is definitely going to go down. This might just be the game at 23 minutes. All 5 members of SANDBOX are here. All of the members of Hanwha Life have no gold, as immediately YeongJae has to flash out of the way. Shroud goes down, but the Nexus is at half health. Flash out from Lehends, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. Nexus is going to fall down, and SANDBOX with a